Hello, Star Wars Galaxy of Hero players. This is Anditesh Ordo, and today I'm going to be doing a video on what if faction pass. And this faction pass is, if you haven't seen the picture of in the background or the picture itself, it is none other than the Zann Consortium as a faction. The Zann Consortium as a faction, I feel like would be a great faction to add in. They would be a great support towards scoundrels, especially if they did scoundrel-based ships, like Tiber Zann's Merciless one, or Merciless. So yeah, Tiber Zann has a good, great ship. It is within the, that's not it. Whoop. I'm going to skip to it. He has this ship here. I think it was a Merciless. I want to mix it up with Houndstooth. I don't know why. I don't know. The Merciless. It's an aggressor-class Star Destroyer. And it's a really good, it's a cool design for a Star Destroyer. It's not like arrow-headed shaped and, Star Destroyer like that. But it was a design stolen from the Empire. When the first at least in now Legends, they stole the ship after the destruction of the first Death Star. All the remains, they had some evacuated pods and stuff like that. So, but yeah, for the most part, yes, the Zann Consortium would be a great faction to add to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Adding 5 to 7 characters and like 3 to 5 ships plus this one. I think it'd be great. And maybe an ultimate ability for this would be to take out their fleet ship. And doing so would do some damage to the starfighters. But the main cannons, it would literally turn. You would see it turn on the field and then fire its the EMP burst and then the other burst, and it just takes out the enemy Star Destroyer. Granted, I know, at least in gameplay, you do see it take out like an Acclimator, which does make sense for the firepower it has, but doing massive damage to a Star Destroyer could cripple it, take it out of the game, so you no longer, your opponent would get turn meter. It would probably have to have like a 10 or 15 turn cooldown, and then maybe have a way where a certain way to make that cooldown come down just a little bit to like 5 or at least to 8 turns. But yeah, I think it'd be kind of a cool ship. And so yeah, yes, I will admit, since I'm using my tablet, I can't ever get this order to work right, my Android tablet, to get the order of the pictures. But for the most part, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just scroll through in order, and we'll talk about each ship and each character. So, obviously, we got to have the leader. The leader is Tiber Zann. And I think this would be a great way to incorporate a couple of unique abilities for the film. For the most part. So first off, I feel like his basic, even though it wouldn't do as much damage as say like a Wedge, Biggs, or Han Solo basic attack, would be one of the first basic AoEs. That's not counting Jawa Engineer's grenade. Oh, well, that doesn't explode as AoE, but yeah, it would be a basic AoE attack. He blasts, and then he has a chance to go stealth. This is a character I've kind of thought about a little bit. His second ability would be to, like a light type bribe. Not a super powerful bribe, but just a light bribe that would bribe the enemy into, like you would just choose a character to control like their basic attack. And their basic attack blasts one of their allies. So they kind of turn, so they'll have an animation where they turn towards an ally and blast them. That would be kind of a cool ability, and it might have to start down on a cooldown or something, but I feel like the real ultimate bribing ability would be to take control of an opponent's character. And once they're down to their last character, they go back over to the other side to be defeated, or, the game ends, or one of the two. But because the thing is outside of Cantina, battles and light and dark side battles, you have only 5 characters. Arena, a lot of other, areas where you fight, galactic war, territory battles. You only, and the raid. Well, the raids, that ability won't work on the raids. You only have 5 slots, but there's that 6th slot. So why not take control of an enemy That'd be kind of cool. Take control of an enemy. You got them. Either for the rest of the game or and you can only take control of that one. Once that enemy that ally is taken over, or the enemy is taken over to an ally, they have to be defeated before you can take over another one. So I think that'd be kind of a cool ability. And granted, it wouldn't work in, a couple of the areas unless they allow to not add an ally from a friend, have that option to choose either to add an ally or not. I think that'd be kind of cool. So, but yeah, that's kind of my thought on Tiber Zann. The ability to take control over, because if you've played the game, he has an ability where he goes stealth, or he has an ability to go, unless his second ability is to go stealth and his ultimate is to just take over. But he has an ability to bribe the opponent's the opponent AI, stormtroopers and whatnot, and then they work for you, and then you can send them around and they shoot. So I think it'd be kind of cool to do that. At least that'd be kind of a cool effect in Arena. It's like, oh yeah, you got your Darth Nihilus about to annihilate, and then you instantly take it, and then they go and they annihilate. Oh, that would suck. I know that kind of sounds like an overpowered ability, but if it starts on a cooldown, like an 8-turn cooldown like Nihilus's ability, that'd be kind of nice. And maybe, I don't see it ever having an ability to lower the cooldown, but if you can get it to where you keep Tiber alive, where they could take control of an enemy, that might turn the game in your favor. Especially if you're like facing Night Sisters and you steal old Decca and then heal up and revive your characters, you're like, got this. So, but yeah, that's Tiber Zann. I know that took a little bit. This is one of the shuttles. I'm going to be doing this a few times. It's a TZ-15 shuttle. This is a shuttle that was used by Tiber Zann in the battle, but it was also, it would drop off troops and like the Defiler. I think it'd be a great ship to, have as a Defiler for starfighter battles. There's reported to not have blasters, but they could probably have a couple of blasters and then have some stealth abilities and stuff like that as a scoundrel. The Star Viper Squadron could be used by some of the basic troopers. Star Vipers were used by the Zann Consortium, but they were also used by the Black Sun, and it was a Mandalorian-built ship, kind of based on old ship designs for the Basilisk War Droid after it became a like ship look, as you see in KOTOR 2, when you go from Duxon to Onderon the second time to help take over. So yeah, that'd be kind of a cool ship. And they have like mercenary squads and mercenary grenadiers that could use these, this and the skip ray blast boat. So these would be two ships, be great to add in. I don't see why not. Silvery, she was a Night Sister from Dathomir, at least in the Legends side of it, and honestly, I think she would be kind of a cool, unique character to add in, because then we'd have a lightsaber whip, because in canon, we've only seen electro-type whips, where it wrap around someone's neck, stun them a bit. This would just cut the head off, This would be a light whip, And I think it'd be kind of a cool ability, and she also had some, drain ability, similar to kind of similar to Nihilus, but probably wouldn't work exactly like Nihilus's. Even though it'd be kind of cool to work kind of like a Nihilus's, but it doesn't do any cooldown. This was the Droid Decca Mark II's dropship, plus some other troops would drop in with this ship, and so this would be kind of a cool ship. I know it kind of be weird to seeing a Droid Decca piloting this. This is one I will skip. Yeah, because this is the Droid Decca Mark II. Granted, I hope they add the Droid Decca Mark I first, the Separatist version, before they add the Droid Decca Mark II. So, yeah, that'd be kind of an interesting ship to have for space battles. We'd at least have about four starfighters, or like a couple starfighters, and then, the two different shuttle variants for like the Defiler and this, and the Droid Decca, and then the rest are just straight, And then we got the capital ship, so it wouldn't be too bad to do that. But yeah, the Droid Decca would be kind of a cool character to add into the game. This one I could feel like it would have a ability similar to Commander Luke Skywalker's, where you switch between the two, and you get the 100%, and you dispel itself. But the difference is this one would be, it would be basically set up to attack non-droids and do more damage towards non-droids, and then have that ability to switch towards, because in the game you can actually switch it to have ion cannons, and it was good against shields, so obviously this would be good against droids. So you have a droid that's good against droids and good against organics. Organic meat bags, as HK would say. So I think it'd be kind of a cool droid Decca to have, I would say, you know. Now going back, we'd have Fenn, the secondary leader of the faction. I forget what species he is, but he's lived as long as, you know, Dirge would have. You know, he's lived about 4,000 years or so, and he's really good against Force sensitive, because he kind of has some Force sensitivity in him, but he's not like full-blown Sith Jedi. So maybe he could actually resist Sith and Jedi in game, so he kind of, you know, takes less damage from Sith and Jedi. He also has like an interesting regeneration ability in the game, so after some time he regenerates his health. So in game he could have a unique where he regenerates his health. You know, every turn he goes, he regenerates like 15, maybe 25% of his health or something like that. Not too much, but, you know, something to make it reasonable. Or maybe, you know, 15% health, 5% protection. But he also has stealth abilities similar to Tiberzon. He uses these blades, so he'd be a physical attacker. And he can like do like an AoE with it. So yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool to see. So yeah, here's the Mercenary Grenadier Squad. So this would be like a Mercenary Grenadier or whatever, like a Zann Consortium, Grenadier, however you say that, how do you even say that word? Where he actually, this would be another character who have a unique ability to, you know, blast and do AoE, like a target would do more damage and it would just be splash damage, where, you know, other characters they've been dealt like 50% less. It's not going to be like Wedge's AoE or any AoE that does like a big explosion. It would be a smaller explosion. But yeah, this is another character, and he could be like a pilot to one of the ships, the Star Viper, or the crap, what's it called? I'm going blank. The Skip Ray Blast Boat. So there's him, and then we got the Mercenary Assault Squad. This one had a unique. They had like disruptor rifles, so it was really good against organics. So maybe this would be a character that would be, you know, do less damage, like 50% less damage to droids or something like that. And then maybe a regular blaster, and then they pull out a disruptor rifle and use it, and then go back to the regular blaster. And it would be kind of interesting between these two classes. I think it'd be kind of interesting where they have like 3 to 5 different types of mercenaries, and every time you go into battle, it looks different because they're mercenaries. You never know which mercenary you've hired. You're going to be hiring that next day or whatever. It'd be kind of a twist to, you know, having mercenaries. So yeah, it'd be kind of cool. The next one, I've already talked about this ship. The Defiler, they were like covert operatives. So here's another character I could see having the stealth mechanic. But you go in behind lines, do sabotaging, setting up corruption on worlds. So there could be something built towards his abilities. And he also had like a thermal detonator or whatever, so he could throw these thermals, and after a while, well, they weren't thermals, they were actually like kind of like C4 in a sense, and after a couple of seconds it would go off. And maybe this could be an ability where it'd be unique, where he doesn't set it on the character, he sets it next to the character. And and then it explodes after a turn or so of the target. So he throws it under the feet of the target. Be kind of interesting. And the Droid Decca, and that is it. Now, I will say there'll be some people thinking in the comments below, what about IG-88 and Dengar? Well, they're bounty hunters, so they were hired to join them. So they can be hired to go against them too. So I don't see them, unless they make 4 different versions of IG-88, which I don't know if anyone wants an IG-88 squad under HK-47. That's a lot of damage coming out of them. If they're all the exact same, just IG-88 A, B, C, and D. And you can just use one shard to unlock all of them. That'd be a long grind for sure. But IG-88, I think it was like IG-88A was serving him. B and one of them was on in Legends. One of them became part of the Death Star, but he decided to not go. He just decided to let the Empire do what they did, which was a fault because he, lost control of it because Rebels took out the Death Star. He could have just started firing on Imperials and then the Rebels would be like, what's going on? But then he'd also fire on the Rebels too, as well as the Imperials. So, but yeah, I don't see IG-88 or Bosk actually being characters with the tag of Zann Consortium. But if they wanted to throw them in, that would be great. Then we could also get IG-88s and Bosk's ships as well. Be a great add to the game. They're a bounty hunter, and they also have the Zann Consortium tag. But at the same time, I don't see them having that. I just see them having bounty hunters. So maybe there's like Tiber and Uri would have leadership abilities that would boost bounty hunters as well, even though they're not a bounty hunter leader, but they would still be able to boost that, or just scoundrels in general. That would kind of make sense. So, but yeah, that is the Zann Consortium. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about the Zann Consortium making it into Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I think it'd be a great faction to throw in. They'd have to work around with some of the mercenary squads and captains and stuff like that. Maybe add a couple extras. They'd have to add at least 7 to 8 characters just to make it viable, especially with having at least 5 ships to, go in with the Merciless, which is Tiber Zann's flagship. Also, another side note, him and along with, I still suggest Hondo's, the Onaka gang come in the game, but have both Hondo's ship, capital ship, and then Tiber Zann's capital ship really work towards scoundrel-based ships. So if it's a Millennium Falcon, if they ever had the Millennium Falcon of Episode 4 with Chewbacca and Han, that would be a scoundrel ship, so they'd still boost that one. They would still boost Boba Fett's ship, Dengar's, etc. So, but yeah, that is, my thoughts on the Zann Consortium. Again, thanks for watching. I appreciate all those that watch the video and listen to my ideas. Again, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and you guys have a wonderful day.